Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, today's a weird morning. It's just been weird energy. I don't know, it feels toxic. It feels toxic. What? It does. It feels toxic. Almost like a sense of not being okay to be yourself today. Like just a lot. Okay, so this reading is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers, also for those of us who find ourselves on this video without any Piscean anything, you are most likely an empath. Most likely. Unless you're cross watching. No, I don't know. Hold on. Let me get my thoughts back together. I asked what this reading was going to be about, and I was told the love you deserve. Now, between me and you, that might be a loaded ass type of. Let's just 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do you guys want the censored reading or do you want the real deal Holyfield? Which type of reading do you guys want? Which one? Because, okay, so either I'm going to keep the cards as they are, or you guys can choose for me to listen to Michael. I put the cards back. I reshuffle it until I'm told to stop shuffling. Rather than what I'm doing right now, which is nope. Okay. All right, fine. Y'all be like that. Just keep that same energy next time I see you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Putting them back in the damn deck. Today feels aggressive. I don't know. Maybe I'm just irritated. I'm shuffling the deck again. I'm shuffling it again. All right. It says again. I finally found what went wrong. Don't want to feel you. Don't want you on my mind. Don't want to feel you. Can I just stop already? One more. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. He says to shuffle again. You wasting my time. All right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He says to shuffle again. Like, what is this? I finally found. Okay, shuffle again. Okay, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. I did what you said. Okay. Here. Oh, this one. How are you guys doing? I slept with my hair wet, and then that's what happens. My hair goes crazy. So, all right. That's good. Leaving it at that. Okay. 4th deck. It is a heavy energy. Heavy. All right. 2, 3. Let's see what kind of foolery we're going to get into today. Okay. You need to approach something with some sort of intent, an intent that is particular, but not so particular that it's going to be impossible for your higher self to bring it to fruition. Setting this intention is super important as you go through whatever you're going to be going through. Intention is everything. Let's say that again together. Intention is everything. Whatever your intention is, it has to be specific enough that that you don't screw yourself over. Okay, what I mean by that, so if you're gonna say something along the lines of like, give me back what's mine. If you've sent drama out in the past, that's yours. That's yours. Okay. If you've commingled energies with someone else and they are toxic, and you don't set the intention of first cleansing before returning what is rightfully yours, that's yours too. Okay. So it's about setting an intent that's specific, yet still open enough to be expressed in whatever way your higher self feels is most appropriate. So, manifestation, that intent is going to manifest. Another example of setting the proper intent: I hate my job. I wish I didn't have to come here. Okay. You probably won't. You probably won't need to come there anymore. Oh, does that mean I'm going to get a good job? No, it means you're going to lose this one. Setting the intention for what you actually want versus setting the intention by stating what you don't. Those are two different things. Both have the ability to manifest. Okay. But no, Emmie, I don't know. Does someone actually talk like that? Do people actually talk like that? Like, no, Emmie. That amuses me. You have to set the intent of what you actually want, not what you don't want. Okay? Not what you don't want. You have to make sure you are very clear with yourself what end result you want, and leave it open for your soul to decide how you will get to that end result. I hope that makes better sense. So, respect. For many of us, all we really want is like reciprocity, respect. All we really want is for people to hold us in the same regard that we hold them, you know? But okay, Pisces, let's be really real, really quick, okay? All we really want is for people to hold us in the same regard that we hold them. But here's the thing, we don't always hold people in the appropriate regard that they deserve. Let that sink in too. Sometimes we go out of our way to make people who are unworthy. Yes, I said that, unworthy. Sometimes we go out of our way to make the unworthy feel as though we worship them. Why are you worshiping something that's not elevating your sense of self, your understanding of what you're trying to accomplish in your life? Why is that? So, for many Pisceans, part of what we worship, part of our dogma, is this belief of being extra sugary, sugarcoating everything. We don't want to hurt people's feelings. We're not going to speak up. We're not going to speak our truth. We're just going to be quiet. And, how has that worked for you thus far? Has that worked? These are questions that you need to answer for yourself. Oh, Michael's reminding me, yesterday someone commented that they don't think I'm a fraud, but they definitely feel I'm insensitive and abrasive. There ain't no lie there. There's no lie there. I can be insensitive and I can be abrasive, because guess what, Pisceans? I can love you in the way that you actually need at this point. We're not going to romanticize the very things that have continued to hurt our feelings. How has that worked for you thus far? Having people stroke the very parts of you that have been hurting just so what? You can hurt more? And then there was also this comment of, when you're dealing with people's hearts, you need to be more gentle. Okay, that is a major fucking fatal flaw. Fatal fucking flaw of Pisceans and empaths. I'll explain why. You need to use a little bit more logic and self-love type of sense. If you think other people are going to take care of your heart the way you deem they should, that's not their job. That is not their job. That is a harsh thing to hear. But honey, when you want to live in a romanticized way, and that romantic view of life is the very thing that continues to turn the daggers in your chest and your back, I'm going to rip that out. If you want healing, that dagger has to come out. I don't know if you've ever, had to butcher an animal, or I don't know what other circumstance where you would know what it's like to have to pull out a dagger from flesh. When a dagger is inserted, it sticks to the flesh. I've watched enough action movies to know that dagger does not just slide out gently. It must be removed with force. You will not heal so long as the dagger is inserted. And putting pretty little rainbows and lovely rhyming incantations and invoking the fae, that's not going to do shit for your dagger. It's not. And this is a place where you're going to get the real, raw type of love that you've been craving. This is the place where you will get that depth of truth and connectivity. It just is. And if you're not ready to heal, this is not the right place. Not because you're not worthy, not because I don't appreciate you, not because you have no value in my eyes, but because you are going to hurt your own feelings listening to someone like me call you out on the bullshit you hide from the rest of the world. Baby boo, I live at that depth just like you. There's nothing you can hide from me. I refuse to live and rise up to that shallow depth. Now, you might know it, you might not know it, but I absolutely know it. You're not going to drown at this depth. If you're going to freak out because it's too deep, now is a good time to go to a different channel. See, I'm not here to gather followers. I'm here to trigger a remembrance that we are a tribe. We are a village of those who have gone beyond the confines of what society says is the appropriate parameters from which you can live within. This is the place where we don't need permission, agreement, validation from anyone else. This is the deep water. A lot of people will be scared in that deep water. That's okay. That fear is telling you where you need to pay attention. Pay attention to your depth. Whatever you're afraid of, whatever triggers you, and what we talk about together, that's probably what you're needing to work on. And that is probably what you're needing to work on right now. And it's okay if it's a lot of things. It's okay if you don't know what it is. Just the knowing that there is something that needs your attention. And now you know you have to seek out the questions that get you the answers. Powerful. That is powerful. We live in societies and spiritual circles that tell us that you need to pretend like you know everything. You need to pretend as though you've got your shit together. You need to fake it till you make it. Faking it is faking it. I don't know where you're making it to, but faking it is faking it. And that's not something I can co sign. I just can't. I can't co-sign that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have enough in my spiritual bank account to co-sign the ramifications of that fakeness, because what is fakeness? A living lie. A living lie. That's what it is. At what point will you recognize that you don't have to live a lie, you don't have to fake it, that you carry an intrinsic value just by existing? And that every event in your life that other people who don't really know any better but want to believe they do, all of these events that these people who don't know any better but want to believe they do, those events that they shame you for, that they tell you you shouldn't feel, that they tell you you should, like, no, don't tell people that. Those are the events that actually cash the checks that help you to reach higher levels in that spiritual bank account. Are you satisfied with your life, with the amount you have in your spiritual reserves? Or have you been living in such a way where you keep withdrawing so you can give to the people you know for a damn fact they're not going to pay you back? So that when a huge bill that's due, you didn't know, you didn't realize you needed to pay this huge bill, you have a huge unexpected expense, your spiritual bank account is tapped out. You think those people who you've been giving out and giving out and giving out is going to suddenly pay you back because you have an expectation for them to have the same kind of heart as you? Ah, I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to think you know these people better. I'd like to think you know these people better. I've had several people in my life. Currently, I don't think they're in my life anymore. I don't know. I haven't spoken to them in a very long time. They'll come to me and they'll ask me for things. And they'll be like, "Oh, it's just I'll pay you back. It's a loan." No, you won't. No, you won't. Like, that's the reality of it. No, you're not going to. Do I have enough within me to be able to gift this to you? Like, do I have the ability to do that right now? Or do I need to make sure that I replenish more first before I can start gifting things to you? Know what I'm saying? And I mean, the reality is this: we're making the analogy of spirituality and, financial stuff. How many of us, how many of us have actually learned how to handle finances? How many? Have we been taught? Or just like with our energy, we live paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And in this current environment, we don't even know if we're going to have another paycheck. We don't know if we're going to be laid off. We don't know if this or that, and so much uncertainty and so much fear. And what is this trying to tell you? You can either continue to feed the system that's oppressed you, spiritual, financial, societal, governmental, all of these different systems, or um or you can go out on your own. You can go out on your own. Start your own thing. Start your own thing. Start your own thing with this knowing that, you know what? This process that I'm in, it's going to teach me my value. Not because of other people's validations, approval, this and that, but because this process is going to challenge me to the degree that I'm going to refuse to fail, because failure does not run in my blood. Thank you, Megan. Have you said that to yourself lately? Failure does not run through my blood. Hold on. I was going through my notes. I was going through my notes the other day. 1 second. And oops. I saw a whole bunch of poetry. Let's see. Oh, this one was a good one. They started this fire not knowing it would awaken your inner phoenix. They didn't know. Because see, here's the beautiful thing. What some do for evil, the light allows to further the good. Yeah. We expect miracles to be delivered to us by people who don't even believe in magic, then feel disappointed when it doesn't happen. Are you taking the advice of the people who continue to feed the system? We exist in a draconian system. Even within spiritual circles, we exist in a draconian system. Draconian systems honor the false king of tyranny. This is the false prophet. Are you talking about biblical stuff? I'm talking about when you prophesize, you tell a future that helps the people achieve a beautiful future. When you are a false prophet, you peddle lies because you need the belief to create what you are trying to create. False king of tyranny. That is the false king. Are you living within the program of the false king? That's a question you have to ask yourself. What does a false king do? A false king is afraid that the people will realize they are a fake, a fraud. You cannot ever allow someone to question you. You cannot ever allow someone to challenge you. You have to rule with intimidation. What does that mean? That means a true king, much like a true lion, doesn't have to announce. The people just know. The people just know. So when the people around you just know the gravity of you, yet you don't want to believe it. Maybe you are one of the royals that were hidden away because in came the marauders, took over the kingdom. And to protect the integrity of the lineage, you were snuck out of the kingdom and hidden away and never told of who you actually are, but you carry the mark, you carry the essence, and everyone that comes around you knows, they see a royal stands before them. Just because you don't believe it does not mean the world cannot see. Now, I'm not trying to say I'm above everybody because I really don't. I really don't think I am. I'm not here to lead you. I'm here to encourage you to walk beside me as we march towards a brighter future for all of us. I'm here to find my equals, not followers. So I hope that comes through when I share this with you. Ever since I was a child, every time I go into a store, literally the entire store stops breathing for just that moment. And everybody looks at me. That's why I'm so introverted in real life. Everybody will stop and look at me, and it's almost as though. And then they go back to what they're doing. It's fucking weird. It is weird. I don't make eye contact with people in the store because of this, ever since I was a child. Now, I don't want to believe anything beyond I'm average, I'm normal. Girl, you're not. You're not. And I think the thing is, Instead of trying to say, like, I have to stop this, I have to stop that, no. How about this? Accept yourself as you are. One of the most powerful things I was able to do to help me love myself more was accept the fact that, okay, you don't want to be a leader, you don't want to be noticed. That makes it even more real because now you know the things you do, the way you lead, the way you uplift, the way you inspire, it's not for clout. It's not for some sort of increase in your social value, social standing, social status. It's because this is what you were made to do. So stay timid, stay humble, stay questioning. Those all things need to exist to continue to balance you. Because if you ever remove those things that make you feel kind of smaller than what you actually are, then you run the risk of becoming too large for the purpose you were actually born for. So just love yourself as you are, quirks and all. I don't call my insecurities insecurities. I call them quirks. I call them quirks. I have a weird type of ego. When it gets flared up, which it regularly gets flared up, I don't feel like I'm bigger than everyone. It makes me feel that much smaller. And that helps to regulate me, to help me to understand. Again, I'm not here to collect followers. I'm here to find my equals so we can walk side by side, shoulder to shoulder, marching forward towards a brighter future. This is the type of love we need to have for ourselves and for other people. Why do we choose not to? Why do we choose not to? Ooh, damn. Ooh, because we be telling ourselves things. This. Ooh. Ouch. Just because it isn't technically a lie does not mean it isn't grossly distorted. What kind of grossly distorted things do you tell yourself? That you'll lose everyone if you don't this and if you don't that. Okay, well, here's the next one. I'm now more afraid to lose my truth than I am to lose a person who vilifies me because of that truth. Honestly, that's more of a cleansing than an actual loss. Are you afraid of being cleansed? Because, hey, the sensitive people, and it's not bad to be sensitive, but this is a real and raw channel. The sensitive people will not appreciate the fact that I'm going to speak a specific type of truth right now. Many of us flood and fill our entire field with trash as fuck people. Why? Why? Because it's easier to be around garbage than it is to actually look in the mirror and assess what parts of you need to be loved. That's a harsh fucking truth. That is a harsh fucking truth. Why do you have to be so harsh, Emmie? Well, because has the soft words, the gentle kisses, sugar coated readings helped you to find any truth and value within yourself thus far? Or has it simply served to coddle the insecurities that are rooted in a need for someone else outside of yourself so that you can further distract yourself from the reality that you actually need yourself? It's going to take a lot of booming words and truths to push past the cognitive dissonance that we live with day in and day out. Just because you have cognitive dissonance does not mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you lack value. It does not mean you're not evolved. Living with cognitive dissonance means you are a highly sensitive being who has been traumatized by the current state of the world. And if you can get traumatized by just seeing the suffering of the world, that means you're here not to continue to perpetuate that suffering. That means you're here needing to find your courage so you can find a way out and people can follow behind you. You're a trailblazer. That's why it hurts to exist in this world. You have to be kept uncomfortable so that you continue to push forward and outwards from this program. We're not going to leave this program trying to, oh, I want to make sure I don't hurt people's feelings. I give you a disclaimer. Maybe I should start it at every single reading. This is not the channel for people who are not ready to hear booming truths that will knock the cotton balls out your fucking ear canals. This is not the place. And it's not that you don't have a place here. It's that it is not the place for a continuation of what you've already been suffering through. This is not the place for that. It's the place for you and the truth of who you actually are. Room for you to spread your wings. Room for you to recognize not only can you walk through life, you can fly as well. You can fly. You can fly. Be wary of people who try to dictate to you how to live your life based off what they watched in a movie or read online. I'm telling you, this is like a guidebook to life. It's like a guidebook to life. I also then recorded a conversation I had with my kid, one of my kids. This was a question, Mommy. This is a deep question. Would you rather live your life in fear and live a long time, or live your life to the fullest but die early? My answer: live to the fullest, because living in fear for any period is torture to the soul, as well as family that has to suffer with you. Do you like to be tortured? Because that's one thing. You also have to consider the people who live with you, the people who see you day in and day out, these people who love you and hurt seeing you hurt. Is that a fair thing to put them through? Some people think you can't do it because you're incapable, but really, you're actually just unwilling. Is that what it is? You are unwilling to do what needs to be done for your growth. It's not a lack of capability, it's a lack of willingness. There is a huge difference between the two. Huge difference. And the process you're in is a process that bridges the gap between the way you're told to exist and the way you actually were designed to. Final one. Is it insane to see a reality much deeper than humans think it can go? I'm just saying. Is it insane? Or do people just need time to catch up? So, card number 10, the wheel. Delays are over. Sudden or unexpected good luck, a new car or travel. Maybe it's time for you to begin considering traveling to different places within your mental, emotional houses. You have many houses within yourself. Some are vacation homes, some are, permanent residents, some are places that are haunted. Just a whole bunch of different houses. What are you going to choose to live in? Hmm? Hmm? Hmm. Um, okay, hold on. So, card number 5. Unity. Do the right thing for the right reason. Compare traditional versus new approaches to see which works for you. A spiritually minded community. It is not going to be one person that dictates how this community, this village runs. A powerful village, it requires a council, not just one person to dictate. It requires a council of members who are willing to do what needs to be done, say and see what needs to be said and seen, and then bring it to the elders who have the life experience so that we can come to a true resolution for everything. We need to at this point. We need to. We need to come to a true resolution. Not just these band-aids, not just, dictating, mandating this and that. Like, all of that is fear run. All of that has to do with psychological warfare. Are you not tired of the war? Are you just not, I mean, does that feel like home at this point? Because home is so much more than simply this human existence and being comfortable in the human existence. Humans are told that the goal is to live a comfortable life. Comfort breeds stagnation. Are you comfortable being stagnant? I mean, most people aren't even willing to admit, most people aren't even willing to look at, consider that they've reached a point of stagnation. And is that point of stagnation a point where now you can't deny that you've messed up? I don't believe in failure. I don't believe in any of that bullshit that we're taught. Failure is nothing more than effort put in the wrong direction, and now your soul is redirecting you back to where you need to be. But again, it's back to that whole thing of, no, I know better because I'm woke. I know better because, I've done the work. What work though? Work that someone else told you had to do? Several weeks back, there was this very real thing going on where, I was coming across person after person after person talking about how, whew, I need to submit, I need to surrender, I need to detach from what? Like, who's telling you this? I need to learn detachment. Well, I mean, what are you detaching from, first of all? Well, I don't know. Then how do you know you need detachment? Well, because I went through my awakening. Are you sure it was an awakening? Because when you go through that first major ascension cycle, it's basically the equivalent of spiritual puberty. When you go through that first major ascension cycle, what ends up happening is you don't have to do anything to detach. You're just automatically detached from anything that would anchor you into the same place of existence. All of these concepts that we are being told, you're out, you're disruptive and you're out. 1 second. All of these things that we're being told by these spiritual leaders, these gurus, these people who know more than you about you, despite never having spent time with you. Okay. Like, for real. They tell you about all these concepts that were stolen and bastardized from Vedic texts, Upanishads. We have the Bhagavad Gita. We have all sorts of different esoteric, sacred texts that someone with a flawed human consciousness, because all humans have flawed logic. Our brains weren't designed to compute the gravity of creation. And you're believing the words of someone who thinks they understand, but they don't really know. But they're not going to let anyone question them because false king of tyranny. Have you ever met a spiritual person who you have a genuine question about certain topics that they seem very knowledgeable about, and then, like, no, you just have to trust it. But trust what? You're not doing the work. You have to trust it. You have to trust the soul. But trust the soul for what? Like what? What? Huh? I mean, it's playing on society right now too. You have to trust the science. You have to trust it. But I haven't seen science that can quantify the alleged efficacy, safety of what is being said is efficient and safe. No, you got to trust the science. But you haven't shown me the science that I've had people speaking for months now about their hypothesis of how this works, but I haven't actually seen the double blind independent studies or have been given qualitative, interpreted, information from the vaccine adverse reaction people. I haven't seen any science. But you have to follow the science and you can't ask because false king of tyranny. That is not the kind of love we need. That's not love. That's narcissistic gaslighting, and we need to begin being able to identify this. We need to begin identifying clearly what gaslighting is and how it's expressed to us in our lives. Okay? You don't know gaslighting? Okay, here. Aside from trust the science, the name calling that occurs, I asked a legitimate question so that I can form my own stance on certain things. I saw a post in a group. I asked a legitimate question. I was not being snarky. It was one simple sentence. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I was accused of being a Trump lover. What? What the fuck does Trump have to do with my legitimate question? I'm seeking out information so that I can decide for myself. And then there were people who are like, stop being selfish. Just do it already. Do what? Are you going to pay my bills? Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my automobiles? Can you pay my telephone bills? Huh? Can you? Will you? Okay, well, if you're not willing to take on the role that I play in the event that I'm fucked up, then you're going to kindly need to fucking shut up. You can ask questions. It's okay. These are not antagonistic questions. When someone responds to a genuine, like, oh, what do you mean? Are you saying I don't know? Okay, now I know you're a fucking narcissistic person. You have narcissistic tendencies and you're toxic as fuck. Goodbye. Conversation is done. Oh, you just don't want to continue because no, it's not because I can't listen to opposing information. Because first off, I don't even have a stance yet. It's because you're fucking toxic. I don't need to bring that into my life. And people will try and roast you for this. It's okay, baby boo. It's okay, because guess what? Let me read it to you again. Let's see, where is it? Ta, 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 ta. They started this fire not knowing it would awaken your inner phoenix. I saw the most profound video yesterday. One of my dear friends forwarded me this video, and it's from Spiritual AF. And they were talking about the concept of the phoenix and how so many people identify with the phoenix. And it's not necessarily the power of it, is not necessarily in that the phoenix will rise from her own ashes. It's that she's willing to destroy everything in her process of rising. She has no attachments or preconceived notions of what and who will rise with her. She's willing to let it all go in her process of rising. There's power in that. There's power in that. Whew. Power in that. They want to roast you. Let the bodies hit the floor. It's a song that always plays in my head. When people want to start shit, it's just let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies, like, yeah, no, that's good. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's keep it funky all the way through. Let's do it. So, Five of Winter, walk away from dishonest association. See what I'm saying? Realizing that what you thought you wanted isn't the best choice for your happiness, something that's not worth the effort. It goes back to that same message at the beginning. Not everyone is worth that effort. Not everyone is worth your blood, sweat, and tears. Some people, especially the ones who aren't worth it, induce these type of situations just to see you cry, sweat, and bleed. If you gonna cut me just to see me bleed, baby boo, there's magic in these veins. All that's going to do is ensure the magic overflows from the places I tried to contain it. All that means is this dormant phoenix is now ready to destroy. Destroy whatever perceptions you have of me. Your perception that you think I'm going to take that shit, your perception that you think I'm going to react the way you decided I'm going to react, destroyed. Destroyed. Be a level of magical that when someone cuts you, you can get out a golden scepter to collect the blood and sip from it. Yes, scepter, not a cup. Your royal stick that you can use to boop motherfuckers in the head with, made of gold, golden boops. Because sometimes when motherfuckers are booped back into a reality that they thought didn't exist because they thought they could rewrite shit for you, sometimes it needs to be done in a royal way. I mean, gold royalty. Boop them with that shit. Collect your blood, sip it, and boop the motherfucker. Not really, metaphorically. Oh my God, she's talking crazy. Crazy because I know how powerful I am. That's the crazy part. We're just talking metaphors. This is spoken poetry. You taking it literal? It's not my fault you don't understand the beauty of poetry and that you can be a living piece of poetry and that everything you communicate can be communicated in a passionate way. And it does not mean you're angry. It means you're overflowing with passion. Hey, if you couldn't take the spice, you shouldn't come to my kitchen. We use seasonings here. Never be sorry for who you are, where you are within your journey. If you know for a fact you are never intentionally malicious to people, sometimes there's misunderstandings that can be talked out, but you are never intentionally calculating and malicious. Don't apologize for existing. This is a good regulator, okay? Whenever I feel like I need to apologize for just existing, for saying something that it wasn't intentionally trying to be antagonistic or hurtful or anything like that. But someone experienced some sort of cognitive dissonance because I was just in my space, speaking my truth, my perceptions. I don't need to apologize for that. It's a whole different thing. Me being on my channel, on my live stream, I haven't invited anyone to this live stream. I go live and you guys are free to choose whether you join me or don't. I love the fact that you join me, by the way, but I didn't tag anyone into this. I'm in my own space. This is literally my room that I'm in. It's literally my bedroom in my house. You can't come into my house and tell me I need to redecorate, that I'm sitting wrong, that I need to change this and that. That's fucking rude. That's rude. Go knock on your neighbor's door and tell them, I don't like the way you're standing there. You need to go in the kitchen. Make me a sandwich. Yeah. Try that. Try that. Yeah. Try that. And then you don't know what their dietary preferences are, dietary needs, but you tell them it better be vegan, gluten-free, and dairy-free because, vegan. But we're not vegan. I don't care. You're offending me. Does that fucking make sense? To behave that way, does that make sense? Being in your own space, speaking your truth and letting people come and go, whether they want to hear that truth or not, it's up to them, versus going to someone's live stream, their online house, and trying to dictate shit. Bitch. I have some high heels with a pointy toe. My foot's not that wide. I'd say it's less than 7 inches. I hear the anus can stretch 7 inches. It's within the realm of possibility, reality, for me to shove my whole fucking foot up your ass. I'm just saying. I heard that somewhere. The anus can stretch like 7 inches or something like that. Let that sink in. Or don't. I'm just saying. Yeah, don't do that to people. Don't do that to people. Because then, rules of engagement, you've initiated something. Well, I don't know why you're attacking me. Well, because you're a fucking idiot coming to someone else's house, telling people how the fuck to live. You don't see me coming to your house telling you how fucked up you are. Okay? One of these places that I was staying at for a while, when we came with our things, because I have hella kids, they're all boys, and I guess the neighbor had a daughter, same age as one of my kids, like that tweener age, and they wanted our kids to hang out, and I made a judgment call. I don't really want my kid hanging out with someone who has a mother who did not like to see us in the driveway when we came to view the property. Yeah. Because that's going to cause some friction. If I ever hear that you were not welcoming to my child, despite the fact that your child invited my child to your house, we're going to have fucking problems. And I asked my son, do you want to hang out? Didn't tell him how I felt. Just, I was like, do you want to hang out? Not really. Oh, thank God. I don't know if I like them. He's like, I don't know either. Because mom had a weird look when we came to look at the house. You saw that too? He goes, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm not going to go to your house and like, you be you, boo-boo. You be you. Your husband wants to commingle your children with my children. I'm going to just match your energy. I don't want no commingulation. Stay on your property line. I'll stay on mine. Okay. No commingulation. We're going to match energies there. Now, maybe she was having a bad day. Maybe she just didn't like me. I don't know. I'm pretty fucking fabulous. I'm just saying. I'm a good size to make you feel like I'm not going to do anything. So, I don't know why you wouldn't like me. I look very unassuming in person. I'm just saying. I'm just going to have to match that energy because I don't know your history. And I'm not willing to take chances. Unless you've done something to make me feel like, yeah, okay, this neutral. We can try something out, right? She stared a lot. I'm just like, this bitch. Do I look good today, Daddy? Is that what it is? Is that what it is? Am I looking extra good today. Is that what it is? And that wasn't what it is because we had to drive quite a few hours to get to the house. I look thrashed AF. I did. I looked thrashed AF, and that's probably just like, oh, those type of people are moving in. Bitch, first off, this neighborhood ain't that bougie. Don't make me look up the square footage count of your. I'm joking. I'm joking. Yeah, no. Sometimes people get all caught up in like, oh, I'm in a blah 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 area, and now I'm gonna act like I'm better, honey, honey, honey. These are not custom built estates. Even then, if you really want to take it there, let me enter your home and I will really critique some builder grade shit. Like if we really want to be fucking stuck up and bougie, trust me. It doesn't look like it because I dress like my mom said I dress like I'm homeless. It's okay, it's comfortable. But like if we really want to go there, I'm game. I can match that energy. I can totally like, oh, this is like basic marble. It's not even Italian. Like, did you get this on sale? I'm just saying. I'm not usually like that. It's very, very rare. Very, very, very rare for me to be like that. But if you really want to, I can match that energy. If you really want to use that to try and make me feel like I'm less than, I can absolutely match that energy. I can absolutely match that energy. Mm-hmm. Do I need to? No, because I'm not going to allow myself to remain in your presence. When I feel like I have to be like that, I have to not be around you. That's fucking ugly. And I don't want to match that. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And that's the reality of life. Just because you can does not mean you should. Should you stay around someone who you feel like you need to learn the art of spiritual warfare? Why the fuck would you want to be around that person? Mm. Someone needs attention right now in the comments. So let's give them a moment before I claw you. For you to spread so much hateful words in a thinly veiled, ascended type of way, you need to remove that screen name because you cannot associate your hateful, very limited, narrow-minded fuckery bullshit with my native peoples. It's not offensive to me what you're saying because that's just your stupid opinion. What's offensive to me is people will read that and have this like, oh shit, do native people think like this? And that fucking offends me. When you associate yourself with sacred native things, that's not okay. I'm going to need you to prove to me that you're native. You better come from a tribe that's recognized by the federal government and be able to show your genealogy chart to me before you can fucking use that name. Don't hide behind a sacredness of a people when you are for real, like, that's troll shit, obviously, but it fucking offends me that people would use such a fucking sacred thing. How much you want to bet you're not even native? Do you know how fucking holy a white buffalo is? Let me... Some of my most treasured lives were native. That shit right there. That shit right there. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I said what I needed to say. It's okay. It's okay. As long as people are able to see, able to witness, able to understand, the offense does not come in the expression of limited beliefs and opinions. That's an opinion. It's not my truth. That doesn't offend me. What offends me is that attempt to associate such a sacredness with such a basic, flawed human logic. That's what offends me. It offends my soul that my once people are being used by a coward to hide behind that. To hide behind that. I hope we had a soul history together, and I hope I fucked you up in that life. I'm past that type of behavior in this life, but I hope we had a soul history and that I fucked your ass up in that life. That would give me satisfaction to know that at some point I fucked your ass up. That's not very evolved to say. That's the human in me talking. And now here comes the soul, bringing me back to center, helping me focus. 10 of Autumn, take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. Invest in yourself, not in the other things that you should not invest in. Like I said, there are people who exist who are literally like the trash that you put on the sidewalk, and they just are there rotting away. And these are the people that would love to have you engage them. You choose. You choose. Excuse me. What will you choose? Well, honoring family traditions. Just because I'm not Native American in this life does not mean I have forgotten the traditions of my former families. Desecration of the sacred white buffalo is reason for me to go to war. I still carry that in my heart. Don't you ever desecrate what's sacred to my people. Not even online. Not even online. I've had many fucking lives, and I carry all of them with me. Those who were once my people, those who were once my tribe, once my ancestors, they still walk with me. They still walk with me. I've been every single fucking color known to this planet. Every single color, variation of color. I have lived those lives and I still fucking cherish them. You will not shit on my people. You should try the username Gladlock. You fucking trash bag of a human. That was a little harsh. It's a harsh kind of day. It's okay for me to react and respond accordingly. It's okay for you guys to witness me actually allowing my frequency to lower so that the punch of my words is much more dense. If you're going to lower your frequency, it needs to be with purpose. With purpose. Okay? I mean, yeah, there's nothing spiritual about this shit. I'm not spiritual. I'm a whole being, soul and human. The heart of me gets to decide how I'm going to behave in that moment, because only I will be responsible and own the consequences of that. There will be people who will have seen that exchange and be turned off, unsubscribed. That's fine. I respect that. But I'm not going to shut the fuck up when trash bag over here is fucking disrespecting my once upon a time family. That's not how that shit fucking works. That's not how that shit fucking works. And I sure as hell fucking wish my once people had the courage to talk this kind of fucking shit to the colonizers who took our lands. I fucking wish. I wish. But that's neither here nor there. So instead, I'll still carry my once people in my heart, and I will still fucking defend what is sacred. I will still speak the fuck up. And I'll own the consequences of that. You don't really have a voice if you can't use it whenever you want. You don't really own your voice or your truth if you can only express it in the way people give you permission to, when they tell you you can, and at the measures they dictate. That's the reality of it. That is not sovereignty. That's not sovereignty. The phoenix doesn't pick and choose which twig is going to burn. Doesn't pick and choose. Stop picking and choosing how true you're going to be. You're either going to be true or you're not. Any deviation from full truth is a distortion. That's the reality of human existence, of human life. Okay? We're not trying to encourage violence or destruction. We're trying to encourage your rise as a phoenix. I don't know any sacred text that ever mentioned the phoenix apologizing for being fiery, for being made of fire, and behaving as fire does. It's only a flawed human logic that would say fire is evil because, it's destroyed environments, people have died. But also the harnessing of fire, the fire keepers, they were some of the most sacred in ancient civilizations. Why? If you can transport fire, how powerful is that? You can conquer any environment. How so? Well, you are now able to manipulate and modify your environment to sustain life. I'm just saying. Record Raven, how do you feel about the white buffalo? Please do share what tribe you come from proudly, if you're aware of what tribe you come from. And please share why my reaction was appropriate. All right. Card number 5. Follow your own rhythm. Follow your own rhythm. Allow your heart to beat at the proper pace. It would be foolish if, as a human, you're doing strenuous physical activity, but because someone, a specialist, told you that your heart rate must be maintained at this particular window for you to try and force your heart to beat slower. That's a perfect example of that flawed human logic. That is a perfect example of a flawed human logic. How many people try and force themselves to stay vegan but cannot sustain veganism? They feel very sick. They don't know what's wrong. They're seeing doctors. Everything seems kind of okay. We don't really know what's wrong with you. And they refuse to even consider, okay, am I just not compatible with veganism? I'm not trying to attack vegans. I'm trying to say that flawed human logic that I once had for 6.5 fucking years. It can't be the veganism. I refuse to hear it. It cannot be the veganism. Something's wrong with me. I don't know. Something terminal, because I feel like I'm dying every single fucking day. My organs don't feel like they're working right. Something is seriously wrong with me. And everyone I went to said I needed specific nutrients. Oh no, I'm supplementing those. I think it's the veganism. Oh no. You just don't know. It cannot be veganism. It's the healthiest thing ever. You're just not spiritual. You're not woke. You don't understand. Like, it will poison my body more if I allow the poor animals its dead flesh. This is all the shit that I would say. This is literally all the shit that I would say for 6.5 years. Turns out I can't sustain veganism. Not because I don't have the willpower, but because it was making me very sick. Do you see the analogy that you could potentially have with this? Veganism is not the issue. Not listening to your body is the issue. That is the issue. Not veganism, not meat, not none of that. Not listening to what you actually need, because someone outside of you sold you on this concept that unless you do what I'm doing, you're just not as worthy. And I distinctly remember that. No one outright said that to me, but I was absolutely made to feel like that shit. Like, oh, star seeds, we can't do animal flesh. Like, no animal products, no, none of that. Star seeds are a different caliber. The faces I'm making are just because I've lived quite a few years being fucking idiotic. It's not to do with the people who were saying they truly believed it. They weren't trying to be malicious. They weren't trying to be controlling. These were people that I really admired because they had such a chosen peacefulness. And that's why I made a decision to try and emulate that. It has nothing to do with me bashing other people. The faces I made, I've lived quite a few years being just absolutely asinine. Because I was able to justify, not listening to the allopathic doctors. I was like, oh, you come from a poison industry. I don't need to listen to you. You don't know. And then here was a kicker. I went to a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner. Like, and not to say that programs in the United States are inferior or anything like that. But for me, the authenticity of it, because I was still into status stuff then, the authenticity of his work was through the roof because he was actually trained in Asia and he's Asian and he had a thick as fuck accent. So like, yes, this is a true healer because fucking, I told you guys, I've lived asinine for quite a few years of my life. Okay. I was very asinine. And so I went to him and I was just having all of these health problems already. It was probably like year 5-ish, all of these problems. And I was like, he's going to heal me. We're Asian. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm like thousands of miles removed from where he's from. But we Asians know Asians because asinine, right? And then we did our first treatment. He went ahead and gave me what looked like ground dirt. And he said, "You're going to have to take this." And he was giving me instructions. And then he tells me I'm going to need to drink bone broth. Like, is there a plant called bone? No. You take, you go to the pho. And I was like, "Oh, no. I don't eat that kind of stuff." I said, "Oh, you can make it at home." I said, "Okay." So you take the bones. Like, is there a plant called bone? No, like the thigh, the femur of a cow. You take that. You want something with a bone marrow. You take a tablespoon of vinegar and you put it in and you let it boil for hours. And my whole face the whole time, he's like, "Are you okay?" So there's no plant called bone. No. Now his accent was really thick, so he probably just thought that I wasn't understanding, and now he's trying to enunciate. I can't even begin to copy his accent. And I was like, "No, I'm vegan." He's like, "Oh, that's good. So you take the bone." I was like, "I don't eat meat." He goes, "Oh, no, not meat, the bone." That's worse. Like, you want me to drink boiled cut leg. It's very healthy. Yes, that's the one. "No, bro, I'm vegan." He goes, "That's good. That's a good diet. This is no meat." And I was like, "I don't eat things that any type of animal product touches. I can't pick it out. Once animal product touches the food, it's tainted. I'm not eating that." He goes, "Do you want to be better?" "Yeah." "So you get the bone." It's like, Okay, good. It's good." It's like, I get in the car, I tell my husband, "This motherfucker, do they not have veganism in China? What the fuck?" I was so mad. I said I would do it. I lied to him. Bold faced. I lied to him. One of the very few times that I lied. I lied straight to his face. Okay. Come back 2 weeks later, checking my tongue, my eyes. Like, he goes, "No bones?" I was like, "What?" "What? You know bones?" I was like, "Fuck, how did he know?" Yeah. And then he explained to me fully, "I'm at the early stages of multiple organ damage." Multiple organ damage. And he so truthfully expressed that although I was overweight, grossly overweight, excuse me for not having a traditional Asian body, although I was grossly overweight, I prefer the term fluffy, I was actually malnourished. Malnourished. And he said that in order for my body to do the day to day, it was actually cannibalizing multiple organs. And I still didn't fucking listen. Yeah, I still didn't listen. I told him I'm gonna need some time to come to terms with this. He goes, "Okay, you take all the time you want. Long time, worse organs." Okay, okay, that's okay. And I got real fucking sick. Real fucking sick. All because of my personal flawed human logic of I know better. I have researched all the different supplements that I need to take, the absorption rates, like which is better, which is more bioavailable. Like that's the kind of person I am. You tell me I need to do something, I will fucking know everything about what I need to do before I actually do it because I don't trust. So if I'm going to agree to do something, I need to know everything about it so that if you fuck up, I'm going to know. I'm going to know. Well, I didn't account for the fact that I was fucking up the whole fucking time. The whole fucking time. Because it's everyone else. No, I'm spiritual. It's everyone else. No, but I namaste every day. No, I do yoga 2 to 3 hours every day. I can put both my fucking legs behind my head. I'm spiritual. I am Ashtanga. No, girl, you're fucking malnourished and you're fluffy. That's the reality of it. That's the reality of it. Until you are willing, open to hearing outside of what your perception is, you're not going to get an answer that takes you away from how you've been existing. And then it comes to this very real thing of, are you more loyal to your suffering or are you loyal to your growth? Because you can't be loyal to both. They take you on different paths. Are you loyal to your suffering or to your growth? They don't go down the same road. They are not parallel. They take you in opposite polarities. Which one are you loyal to? Your growth will take you to places you have never been before. And I'm not telling anyone that is currently vegan that you have to stop being vegan. Veganism is a very, very powerful way to raise your frequency if you're low frequency. It's a very, very powerful way. For some people, fucking perfect. Perfect. If your genetic line carries a lot of generational ancestral traumas, veganism is good to help counteract that as you process. That's a hard thing to process. Veganism is good for that. Can you sustain it long term? It depends on your body. I'm not telling you to eat one way or another. I'm sharing a story of what I experienced in real life, everyday experiences that helped me to learn about myself and how, as much as I would like to think back then that I knew everything and I knew about Melchizedek, I knew about Urantia, I knew about all sorts of fucking shit. Like, oh my God, where did you hear this? That was the most flawed logic I ever had in my life. That period where I thought I was just so uber spiritual, so evolved. Not at all. I was going for an aesthetic. Looking back, I was going for an aesthetic. And that more than bit me in the ass. It also gave me an enema. It gave me an enema. For real. I'm not even fucking ashamed to share the processes that I've been through to help me to grow. Hear my stories and understand you're exactly where you need to be. There was no one that was going to come down from a mountain and convince me the way that I was living, because I was not harming anyone and I was trying to establish personal peace. There was no one coming down from this mountain to convince me that I was living wrong. Nobody. Not even my body. This was around the period where I was told by an orthopedic surgeon I was having knee pains. I was seeing a physical therapist. My physical therapist was not in that day, so I got his colleague. This woman had me lay on a table. She asked me to bend my knee. So I was laying flat with one leg bent, the other leg is straight. And so my leg was bent like this on the table. This is me laying. My leg is bent like this. She starts pulling here. You literally can see my knee separating. It's like this. It was going like that. She goes, "Oh, that's not good." And I'm just looking at her and she keeps doing it further and further. I'm like, "You're going to tear it." She goes, "Oh, does it hurt?" "No, but I can feel micro tears forming." "Oh, I should stop." "Yeah, you're fucking separating my knee." So she referred me to a surgeon. I think it's an orthopedic surgeon. No, osteopedic. I don't fucking know. It's a bone doctor. And here's the thing. If you go to a surgeon for medical advice, they will always advise surgery. If you go to a chiropractor for medical advice, they will always advise chiropractic care. If you go to a dietitian for medical advice, they will always advise dietary changes. Do you see how it goes? Whoever you go to advise, they will advise you based on their training and specialty. She had me go to a surgeon. They x-rayed both my knees. He comes into the room, he's chatting with me, asking me about my family, asking me all sorts of different questions, kind of just, breaking the ice. Then he goes, "Okay, let's get started." And he looks at my x-ray. Oh, he goes, "Wait, what is your name again? What is your name and birth date? I want to make sure. I want to confirm." And I tell him. And he basically asks for my medical record card. I give it to him. He types it into the computer. And he goes, "Oh, that's interesting." I was like, "What's interesting?" Because he's kind of, quirky, funny. He goes, "Well, you look pretty young. Your chart says you're pretty young. This is your x-ray. Yeah, that's your name. That's your birth date. Can you take a look at this for me really quick?" And I look, I'm like, "Yeah, that's my name and birth date." And he goes, "Huh, it's very interesting." I'm like, "What's something wrong?" He goes, "Well, it doesn't make sense because you look so young. You're in your 20s. Your chart looks like your knees are about 80 or 90-year old." "What?" What? He's like, "Yeah. Based on your x-ray, you won't be able to walk by the end of this year." I said, "Well, we can't have that. I'm only in my 20s. And what's he say to me? "The solution is a total knee replacement for both my knees." In my mid 20s. And I'm like, "Okay, well, is there any alternative? Like, worst case scenario, obviously I'll have to get surgery. Is there anything alternative any advice?" You know what his fucking advice to me was? "When you're still pretty young, pop out however many children you want. Just pop them all out, and come back to me when you can't walk anymore. I'll probably see you around December or January." What the fuck did you just say to me? He goes, "Well, you're overweight, so, your knees are shot." And I'm like, "I've lost like 60 pounds. He goes, "Well, you need to lose more." Okay, well, thank you for your honesty. I told him, "Well, this only started after I lost 60 pounds, so you can't really tell me it has to do with my weight. Like, is there something wrong?" He goes, "You got old ass knees." He was quirky as fuck. That was his advice. That was almost 20 years ago. I have both my knees. 2 days ago at my home gym, because I track how much I lift on an app. I lifted with my legs and my bum knees over 48,000 pounds. 1 second. If you don't believe me, because I really have nothing to prove. It's 48,280 pounds. That's like 7.2 elephants. I lifted that in 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 17 seconds. You know how I fixed my body? Oh, I was on glucosamine, I was on collagen, I was on all sorts of trace minerals, all sorts of shit. I was seeing chiropractors, I had orthotics in, all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. Oh, trust me, I was in a health kick. Like, I was fully vegan devoutly, and there was nothing that I wasn't making from scratch. I was making everything from scratch. Nothing frozen. All the veggies are fresh. Just, that's why it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Like, at all. At all. You know what changed my health? Eating for my frequency. I can't sustain a vegan diet. My life and my body finally broke me down to the point where, what am I actually doing here? Am I being vegan for my health? And again, the veganism is not the issue. I want to make that very, very clear. Veganism is not the issue. It's your refusal, my refusal, to listen to what my body is telling me. And looking back, it's like, why didn't I just fucking listen to my body? Because I was like, do I have cancer? Do I have like bone cancer? Something. I feel terminally ill. For years, I felt terminally ill. I felt so terminally ill that, and my husband can attest to this, for, I want to say, almost a year, I was in my nurse practitioner's office 3 to 4 times a week. They're only open Monday to Friday. 3 to 4 times a week. I was on so much. She was trying to get me to try all sorts of different medications, to the degree that at the time we had a roommate, and I kept all of the meds in one cabinet. And one day he saw it and he's like, dude, you should just start selling this shit. I was like, what? You should just fucking sell this shit. You got hella shit here. And I was like, I don't do that kind of shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? I had Oxy. I never took it. It didn't do shit for me. Just made me feel sick. I had Flexeril. These are mega doses. I was maxed out on Motrin daily. My liver was hurting every day. Motrin didn't even take the pain away. It was just mitigating the inflammation. Why do you experience inflammation? Because your body is trying to contain the situation, contain the damage. Inflammatory response oftentimes is connected to your mental unwillingness to really assess where this is coming from. You're trying to contain it. You're trying to keep it from really being exposed to you so you can actually see what's going on with you, your body, your life. I tell you, my children are my saving grace. They really, really are. They really, really are. Every time my body is about to fail me, I end up getting pregnant again, and it puts me back on track. I have to. You can't do that to an unborn child. You can't give them a solid foundation from which to start their life. And if you look at it, me looking at it now, wow, I really wasn't taking care of myself. And the only time I would take care of myself is to take care of someone else. Yeah. So what's the difference between me now and me then, aside from listening to my body so I can eat what I actually need? What's the difference? Now I'm willing to take care of myself as me. Not because I'm pregnant, not because I'm this, not because I'm that for other people, but because this is what I need to be healthy. This is my need now. And that's the whole point of the whole ascension process. This undoing, shedding of all these layers that tell you you're only allowed to exist if you can be of service to someone else, if someone else can benefit off of you. That's just not how it is. It has to be mutually beneficial. It has to. It has to be mutually beneficial. There's nothing selfish about that. You're not being greedy by having equal proportion benefit to the other person that you are helping to benefit. Well, Emmie, but you do a lot of things for people. How is that equal? When my heart leads me to do something for someone else, I'm not seeking repayment. I'm not seeking your undying devotion. It feels so fucking good to me. To me, that's equal payment. I'm receiving as much as you are. As good as it makes you feel to know that I care about you, I got you, it feels just as good for you to allow me, for you to let yourself receive the depth of love that I'm freely giving to you. That's an equal exchange. And it's okay for me to not be able to do that with everyone, because then it's no longer an equal exchange. It's life by obligation. Aren't you done being obligated to other people? Why are you obligated? Okay, so for me, much of my obligation comes from my culture. Girls are born with obligation in my culture. Let me break down Filipinos for a second, okay? I love my people. I love my culture at this point. I'm proud to be a powerful Pinay. Okay? My culture is a very patriarchal one. It has a lot of interlaced misogyny. I'm aware of this. I'm not ashamed of it. This was introduced to us as indigenous peoples of a cluster of islands by King Philip and his representatives. We are called the Philippines because we are owned by King Philip. And although we were treated like slaves and chattel, we were not allowed to be categorized as that because it would be offensive to King Philip. Philippines, King Philip. Okay? We were taught our way of being was not okay. Our culture was almost eradicated. In its place, we adopted the colonizers' culture. Machismos, right? When a daughter is born, you are born into obligation. When a son is born, it's my son. Just don't fuck up too much. If you fuck up, I got you. We'll bail you out. Well, all of that. It's okay. I'm very sorry that I wasn't the parent that you needed, and it's my fault you fucked up. Oh, come to a daughter. Hey, you better get straight A's. You better get into medical school. You need to be a doctor so you can pay for us when we're older. You could take care of us. We could be your patient, and you can give us spending money. That's literally Filipino culture. Varying degrees of intensity, from family to family, but that's Filipino culture. I don't care. As a member of that culture, I refuse to comply. I will not live with obligation anymore. I've done it for too long. It did not make me feel whole. It did not make me feel good. I felt very, very badly about myself. I was very resentful. And I refuse. Does that make me a bad daughter? No. That makes me a sovereign one. Makes me a sovereign one. I disappeared for maybe 3 years, 4 years, something like that. No forwarding address, no nothing. When I say I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. I needed to find myself. And in that time that I was gone, I was labeled all sorts of shit. Why? Because I should have been doing all of these things that they had to do. Because I'm the daughter. I should be doing all these things. But when I was there doing all those things, they were telling me everything I was doing was wrong and I should just be grateful that I'm being tolerated. Well, then fuck you, I'm out. I mean, I don't need you to tolerate me. I don't want to inconvenience you by forcing you to have to tolerate me. So I'm out. Does that make me a bad daughter? In many people's eyes, yeah, it did. Yes, it did. But I had to do what was right for me. My obligation, my sovereignty, my obligation was to my sovereignty. And when I came back, I was the most powerful version of myself that they had ever seen. The most powerful version of myself, because I learned to love myself, to have boundaries, to make conscious decisions for myself in regards to what cycles of toxicity will I allow myself to participate in, which ones will I be like, nah, I'm good, you got that all on your own, that's good, you go right ahead, be fucking toxic right there by yourself, I'm not participating, I got shit I gotta do. And when I came back and I took care of my mom full time, changed every single diaper, bathed her every single day, helped her to regenerate muscle and function that they said she couldn't get back. All the medical team singing all of my praises. Did I come back for that? No. I came back to do what I felt was right for me. I came back to do what I felt was right for me. Not out of pity for my mom, not out of obligation, not to atone for disappearing so I could heal myself. No, for me. I learned to love myself to the degree that I'm going to do this because it feels right to me. It's going to be hard. People will try and suck me back into cycles of toxicity. I'm powerful enough to not agree. I'm coming back and I'm doing this for me. I'm claiming this period of healing for me and my mom, and no one is going to tell me fucking otherwise. And I did just that. Because that's the kind of self-love I deserve. That is a kind of self-love I deserve. The specific individuals in my family that have existed for so long, taking pleasure in, disrupting the flow of my life because it makes them feel powerful. They see me as someone powerful, but they don't want to admit it. And to be able to disrupt my life makes them feel powerful. They were put back in their fucking place. I'm going to come here and I'm going to stay here for as long as I choose. When I choose to leave, you're not fucking stopping that. When my mother tells me she wants to come, you're not fucking stopping that either. Try me and see what the fuck happens. Do you know how powerful that self-love is? To be able to finally take the steps that, before I would have been like, okay, I don't want no, okay, I just, whatever then. I don't want no kind of issues, and I know what y'all are going to say. I don't want none of that. It's bullying, gaslighting and bullying. When I came back, I was at a place of so much self-love. I'm fucking proud of myself. Because when a specific individual began to I'm the power of attorney, you don't get to do shit. Okay. I think you misunderstood what that assignment was. Power of attorney means you are simply advocating for what they tell you they want. It doesn't give you the right to control and own someone. Now, when you start making threats that you are going to bar me from bathing my mother daily, giving her a full body massage daily, pedicures and manicures in her bed daily, you made the wrong threat. Didn't know that, though. I don't need to announce to you the corrective measures I will take. I don't need to announce that. No, I don't need to announce that. I had a very simple conversation with my mom. Hey, you saw what happened. I'm very sorry. I know that really upset you, but I told you, I'll fight for you. I don't give a shit who I have to fight. I will fight for you. If you want me to fight for you, I'll fight for you. If you don't want me to fight for you, I won't. You have to make a decision, though. At some point, I'm going to be forced out of the house. If you want to come with me, you have to make a decision. If you want me to be the one to take care of you, I'm willing to. You know that I can. But you have to make a decision. If you make that decision, I will begin the process of stripping that person of any power of attorney powers they have over you. If that's not something you want to do, you have to tell me and I will not do it. But no, this is going to start a war. And I promise you, I'm going to fucking win. You know what my mom said? She was sobbing. She stopped crying and she started giggling. She just loved to fight. I know. I'm going to win. But only if you want me to. Yeah. Okay. I'm stripping him of his power of attorney rights over you. Today. And I will take his place. Whatever you tell me to do, whatever you want for your life, that is what everyone has to honor. And she cried. Because no one's ever listened to her. No one's ever advocated for her. And it's a really powerful moment that I just shared with you guys, because the power and self-love that I cultivated for myself while I was gone, it wasn't just for me. It began a whole process to heal my whole family. The type of growth that's occurred is profound. The healing in relationships is profound. Sometimes you heal your entire life and your entire environment by going through what you need to go through and finding the courage to make it all the way out to the other side, having learned how to properly love yourself in the way you deserve. And in just standing in your truth, you free people in your life, maybe one by one, to begin their process of self-love, finding their truth, and living authentically with no fear. That's powerful. It's powerful to know that you can have that type of effect on other people just by your existence. This draconian world we exist within requires you to never connect with the truth of your power and your purpose. Because once you do, much like me, ain't no motherfucker gonna stop you. Ain't no one going to stop you from living the truth of your purpose. And that's how we change the world. By first redefining how we want and need love, redefining what love is, redefining your place within your environment, reconnecting with your courage. You can still be afraid. They don't exist in a mutually exclusive state. You can be afraid and have courage. You can be courageous and do what needs to be done with some level of fear. That's okay. That's real. That's real right there. That is real. I did all of that for my mom, took her to a completely different state, and I was fucking afraid. I was afraid. Colorado is not like California. There are not enough minorities in Colorado for Colorado to understand. In my culture, if you can handle it, you take care of your family member at home. They don't go to a facility. They don't go to a facility. In Colorado, they don't do gurney transport. Because if you need to be in a gurney in order to get to dialysis, according to the state of Colorado and all the medical professionals in Colorado, that's dangerous. You need to be in a facility. I've been taking care of my mom at home for 7 months. Really? Yeah. Ask her. With her advanced health problems, yeah. Do you want the number for all her physicians? Do you want the number for her at-home health nurses? Because they'll all let you know I'm highly competent and capable. No, they don't care. They don't care. See, you exist in a world that doesn't care about how different you are, how capable you are. Oh, are you a nurse? No, I'm a stay-at-home mom. Oh, no. She should be in a facility. I just told you I've been taking care of her at home for 7 months. Like I literally, that came out of my mouth. Nowhere in her medical chart does it say there's questions of her safety at home. Nowhere. And that's the world we live in, where unless you have the letters behind your name that equate to the debt that you've accrued to get those letters behind your name, you carry no value. None. I tell you, this is quite possibly the most valuable human being you will come across in your lifetime. I have no certifications in anything. I have no licenses, no nothing. I'm not allowed to enter into this matrix in that way. It's not allowed for me. Not my soul, not nothing. If I try and qualify for student loans and things like that, I don't exist in the system. I don't know why. When I had state health insurance years ago, they never could find me in the system. They have all the numbers of everything. My name doesn't show up. Me and my youngest were hospitalized for food poisoning. hospitalized at the same time together, shared the same fucking bed, right? Had the same treatments, the same medications, discharged at the same time. Several months later, I get a message. I get an email and a letter and a phone call. My son's hospital bill, and he's listed under me. I'm the coverage carrier. He's just a dependent. Okay, he's a toddler. They paid his hospital bill, but they're now threatening to send mine to collections. And I'm like, I have insurance. Like, no, you're not in the system. Who the fuck do you think paid for my child's health insurance? Who do you think he's covered under? Well, yeah, ma'am, we see your name as the owner of the account, but you're not on the account. Okay, does that make sense to you? Does that make sense to you? That a 3-year-old owns their own health insurance? Does that make sense to you? I'm not in the system. Fuck if I know. Shit. I pay my fucking taxes. If you're not going to give me the benefits of being in the system, why the fuck you keep charging me taxes? I pay my taxes every year. Much to the groans of my wallet, I pay my fucking taxes every year. Every year. My value goes beyond the limited, flawed human perceptions that all of us have, myself included. I won't know the true gravity of my purpose and my value until my last breath. Does that mean I don't do what I need to do? Does that mean I don't continue with this ripening of my self-love so that I can reach even deeper and higher levels of the type of love that I deserve for myself, from myself? No, that means for the rest of my life, I will continue to strive and push and grow and push and grow and push and grow. And when I finally reach the top of that spiritual Himalayan mountain, I'll be able to clearly see the life that I've lived. I'll be able to clearly see the gravity of my existence. I'm starting to better accept the things that I don't know. I'm starting to better accept I carry a gravity that I just don't quite get it yet. One day I will. And I'm no longer afraid if I get to that point where I get it. Will it make me someone else? Will it make me someone who no longer cares? Will I become actually truly selfish and greedy and heartless? And no, because I'm already who I am. I'm just better acquainting myself with the parts of me that I haven't uncovered yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you in the system during tax time, but they don't know you anytime after. No, they don't. No, they don't. Yeah. But I tell you, so I got like this notice. So when my brothers, you guys, the other day was my brother's 1-year anniversary for the worstest part of his heart journey. Yeah. A few days ago. It was 1 year since the doctors told him he's not allowed to get out of bed, that he's going to have to take about 6 months to relearn how to walk, how to feed himself, to lose that stroke slur that he developed, that he would probably never get his vision back and be blind in one eye, and he could never be independent again, and that he probably had about 3 weeks to live. That stubborn motherfucker. Yeah. He defied them in every way. Within, I want to say, about 48 hours of being told this, he was walking in the hallways. A little bit of a limp, but he was walking in the hallways, full control of his body. Some of his vision came back into that eye. Most of it, actually. He's autonomous. He's not attached to an IV bag. They didn't have to destroy his heart. He didn't need open heart surgery. He's still in congestive heart failure. He's a stubborn motherfucker. Stubbornness can be the very thing that keeps you alive. Yeah. 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 His whole journey has been about self-love. It's been about allowing yourself to receive the kind of love that you deserve. And he gets it now. He gets it now. Like, whatever you might have thought before about, you have to do everything on your own, that's fucking bullshit. Stop fucking lying to yourself. Your sister's sick and tired of that fucking lie. Okay? Okay. We're sick and tired of that lie. Yeah. You got to stop lying to yourself. You got to stop with all these stories that you make up in your head to kind of justify other people's treatment of you, their lack of respect, their lack of consideration, their treatment of you that further degrades your sense of dignity. You understand? That's battered wife syndrome. Now, it's not only wives that can be battered. Sometimes it's people who aren't even in relationships. Society functions, behaves just like a narcissistic abuser. It continues to gaslight you to the degree that you feel you have to blame yourself and tell yourself this story of limitation and distortion in order to justify the maliciousness of society. No. I'm just as fucking stubborn as my brother. No. I fucking refuse. No. I remember one of the nurses got so upset with him. I was in the room and I was like, oh, fuck. The night before, or the day before, he was rushed to the ER. He should have died. His blood pressure, I believe, went down to like, I think 45 over 40, something like that, where there's basically no pressure. You're not functioning. You're just about like, you're like a hair away from death. And he spent one night in the ICU. Like, he was so close to death, his organs shut down. He spent one night in the ICU. For some reason, he was able to rebound. His blood pressure was strong again. And after just one night, they sent him to the step-down unit, and then they sent social workers to kind of begin discussing, like, you're very close to death. Yeah, you're very close to death. And I was in the room with him when, they began talking about LVAD surgeries, where they will cut open your chest and they will bypass your left ventricle. In order to do that, they're going to destroy your heart by making a hole in the left ventricle from the outside and then reroute it to where it needs to go. You'll have a drive line, which is basically a tube going down and out your abdomen. All of this will be enclosed in your chest, go out of your abdomen to a pump, external pump, and you will always have to carry 2 batteries for the rest of your life. And the life expectancy for someone who has an LVAD treatment is no more than like 5 years, realistically 2 to 3. LVAD surgery is nothing but a bridge type of treatment. It buys you a little bit more time. So hopefully you find a heart that can be transplanted. Once you do this, it cannot be undone. It's a waiting game for a heart and hoping you can live long enough for someone to die and give you their heart. And the social worker RN was talking to him, and she's like, he almost died yesterday. And he kind of just smiles because, like me, he can't fucking take anything seriously. And she looks at me and she's like, and I was like, and then she says, when I say that you almost died yesterday, what does that tell you? What do you think about that? And he says, that means I still have a chance. And then she looked at me and I looked at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? You still have a chance for what? To actually fucking die? Like, what the fuck do you mean you still have a chance? I got upset. I was just looking at him. I'm saying this in my head because I don't want him to tell them to kick me out of the room. He's not going to take none of my shit, okay? He's not going to take none of my shit. He knows his little sister is bossy as fuck. He'll be like, you can wait outside my room. And then I'll have to wait outside the room. So I was looking at him like, what the fuck are you talking about? And the nurse says, I don't understand. What do you mean you have another chance? He goes, well, I didn't die. So I have another chance to live and make my life something worth it. And I was like, oh, whew. So he gets it. and she asked him, do you understand how sick you are? And he says to her, and then I busted out laughing, and she just looked at us like, both y'all crazy as fuck. He says to her, she goes, do you understand how sick you are? And he says to her, because he fucking, antagonistic, he goes, oh, baby girl, I'm not sick. I'm in the process of healing. And then he looks, and we both bust out laughing, right? He looks at me, and we're just cracking up, me and him. She don't get what the fuck just happened. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And I turned to him, I'm like, what the fuck did I tell you about calling women baby girl? We don't like that shit. And he's like hella laughing. Hey, I'm sorry. Ma'am, I'm not sick. I'm in the process of healing. And she goes, but do you understand what happened yesterday? He goes, I got real sick yesterday, but I'm healing. And I was like, can you just tell him what the hell that is? Can you just show him the pictures, give us the paperwork? Because he's just kind of in that place where he's like, I'm fucking unkillable. I was like, yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're fucking unkillable. Let's just let her go to the next patient. Okay, fucking with her. Let her go to the next patient. She's not amused. She's not amused with us. Like, because me and him are laughing at this point. We're like, we're cracking up. She's just like, I don't know if the family understands how serious this is. No, like we literally fucking understand, but unless he's actually dead, he's still alive. And if he's still alive, he's still healing. He's still healing. And to this day, you cannot call him sick because he will call you baby girl. And if you try and insist that he's sick, he will call you sugar tits. I don't know who introduced him to that term. Whoever did. Whoever introduced him to the term sugar tits, you are on my shit list. Because if he does not want to hear what I have to say, he will call me sugar tits. Motherfucker, hang up the phone. We on FaceTime, turn it off. This motherfucker, why don't I fucking tell him about calling me sugar tits? That is so nasty. Yeah, and then I'll FaceTime him again. I'm your fucking sister. Do not call me baby girl. Do not call me sugar tits. I will fucking choke you. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. Baby girl. And he doesn't say baby girl. He says, baby girl. It's the most disgusting sugar daddy, like, polygamy type shit I've ever heard. It's instantly offensive. And I have to love myself enough to let him know, like, I will fucking slap you. I will take my sneakers off. Fuck the chancla. I will take off my fucking sneaker and slap the shit out of you if you call me that again. And he loves it. He cracks up. He's not dying. He's healing. He insists. He's not dying. He's healing. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I got to. Hold on. All right. Wait, who did I call? Okay. Ah! Hello? What? Oh, hold on. Hey, I'm live streaming and I needed you to can you say baby girl?
What's up, baby girl?
Ah! I hate that. I gotta go. Bye. I fucking hate when he says that. God damn. I don't know. I think he programmed me to be like reactive to that. Did you hear how he says it? Did you hear that shit? Fucking antagonistic as fuck. Baby girl. Like, I told him a few weeks ago. Like, you understand, I could take a pillow. And and he goes, what? You like put it behind my head? No, on top of your face. And he's like, nah, you're kidding. Am I? He goes, I don't like it when you fuck around like that, dude. It's like it's not even funny. I don't like when you fuck around. And then I laughed. What? Am I kidding? Because no, you're kidding. Am I? He's like, he don't like it when I fuck around like that because it he doesn't know if I'm joking. No, just kidding. Just kidding. All right, guys, I gotta go. I just realized I gotta do something and I gotta harass him a little bit more. I haven't harassed him enough today. I haven't harassed him enough today, so I'm gonna have to do that. Just really quick. Just really quick. So today is full of anxiety. Okay. Excuse me. Today has anxiety. Today feels combative. Today has a lot of these like negative aspects to it. But it's only negative if you allow it to be. Okay. When you become aware of what types of energies are programmed into that day's experiences and potentials, you can begin consciously choosing to alchemize the negativity into a positivity. So here's negative. When you add your conscious decision, it becomes a positive. See that? Do you see that? This is a program of today. When you add your conscious sovereign right to choose alchemy, becomes a positive. All right? All right. Ooh, that's deep. Okay, so negative, add you in, it becomes a positive. And then Michael says, he says, when you fight what your presence actually means and the gravity of that in your decision making and your day to day, that's when you become crucified by your choices. Damn. He took a little bomb and he dropped it. I'm just saying, he took a little bomb and he dropped it. That's a truth bomb as fuck. That's a good place to end this. That's a good place to end this. Hey, there's no need for you to crucify yourself. Can I share with you? There was no need for Yeshua to be crucified. The collective of that region made that decision because of the cognitive dissonance that created the fear of that greater unknown. It was much easier to exist within the confines of what they were told was acceptable. It was much easier to exist with him gone, triggering them to ask questions, to live truthfully, to live with integrity and dignity, to re-enter into this place of sovereignty. We've grown. As a people, as a global village, we have grown. We don't have to choose that again. You can find that Christ consciousness within yourself and be a living embodiment of what Yeshua the Christ came into this life for. A testament to divine dignity, sovereignty, compassion, grace. Those are powerful things. Those are powerful, powerful things. And to be able to consciously choose that, oh God, like, it's been a crazy year. It has been a very, very crazy year for me and my family. Crazy. In the times where I couldn't find the courage to not break apart over how limited my ability to assist my brother became. I mean, it's a joke to us. He's like, I'm dying. Shut the fuck up. Someone who's technically dying was able to muster up the courage for the both of us. That's powerful. That's powerful. That's fucking inspirational. Fucking inspirational. Those times where I'm sobbing and he's the one consoling me. It's fine. I got it. It's fine. I'm sobbing and I'm not the one with a tunnel drilled through my chest and a tube inserted into my heart, connected to an IV bag and a pump, day in and day out, knowing I can only have this for 6 months and I'm like at month 5. I got a month to either be strong enough to get off of this or come to terms with dying. Like, that's inspirational. That period that I shared with you where he literally almost died again. When he was finally released from the hospital, he was allowed to go home. They had his primary care physician follow up with him with a telephone consultation or telephone appointment. And he didn't say anything to me. He didn't complain. He didn't say anything. When I talked to him, he just said that his doctor called and, they were being poo butts. And I was like, what the fuck's that mean? Called my son, asked him like, hey, what happened? And he's like, that doctor is a fucking dick. And I was like, whoa, what happened? And he said right from the start, this doctor who doesn't really, it's the first time going, kept insisting that we agree to sign up for a program where people will come to the house and help my brother over dinner help him to inform us that he is dying, that he's going to die. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yeah, Mom, they just kept insisting, like, he's dying. You're dying. You're dying. I'm like, what did Uncle say? And he's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm kind of healing and this and that. And he knows, like, you fucking tell me you messing with my sibling. Here comes the pit bull with lipstick. And so I call him, like, what did the doctor say to you? And he's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's someone that's never seen me before. And, they don't know. It's okay. Don't call them and get mad at people and start throwing your weight around and shit. They just trying to do their job. And it's like, fuck that. And he's like, no, you can't be like that. And I'm like, all right, fine. I won't say shit. When are we going to your death dinner? When is your death dinner so that I know what time to arrive? And he's like, that's fucked up. And I said, oh, it's fucked up for me to reiterate what the doctor said, but I can't say shit to the doctor. Makes no fucking sense to me. But no, he has a live-in caregiver. He has a live-in caregiver. I got him a live-in caregiver. And then, I'm always there too. I bounce around a lot, but he always has at least one person with him 24 hours a day. Yeah. With the type of heart failure, it's just heart failure. With heart failure, the thing with that is it's just kind of like you have to gauge it by the day. But he's gotten really good with just like knowing what he needs, how to regulate himself, and most importantly, how to vocalize to his caregiver, like, hey, can you get this? Oh, I need that. Can you take me here? When people are forced to be strong for too long, they forget how to speak their needs. They forget how to receive. They become uncomfortable with people knowing that they have a need that they can't take care of on their own. And that's been a huge part of the healing journey over the past year. It's been profound. It's been really, really profound to see someone who, he's changed so much, like so much. And he's, so our new place, because we, recently moved again. He says to me, he feels so at peace there now. Like it's just such a peaceful, because I told him, dude, all your stories on Instagram look like every day is a vacation. And he's telling me he feels so at peace and at home now that he could die peacefully in the house. And I'm like, motherfucker, you gotta at least fucking wait until the lease is up. He's like, oh yeah, no. Well, no, it's good. It's good. We got it till the lease is up. I'm just like, motherfucker. Now that we're like in a really good spot and it's peaceful and shit and everything's like starting to calm down and you're really stabilizing, you talking about you now you're okay to die here? Motherfucker. You got X amount of time for this lease. You're not croaking until the lease is up. He's hella cracking up. I was like, you're so fucking dramatic. I swear to God. You're so dramatic. Okay. Ooh, okay. I gotta go. For real. For real. So, you guys, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. I did mention yesterday that I'm preparing for some pretty intense life corrections. Yes. over the next few days, I'm going to begin posting my crystals and all sorts of different things that really, I've just held on to them because I bond with things. It's hard for me to bond with people. It takes me a long time. But I mean, you give me a crystal, baby. He's my baby. It's just my baby, It's my baby. So I'm going to start listing those. I'm still definitely good for a nice fight, but I want to be prepared for a full-on fucking war. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. I will forever fight to keep my voice free. I will forever fucking fight to keep my voice free and sovereign. So with that, I'm now in the process of making the listings for my website, and it will be funding a legal fucking war. I will not be shamed into submission. I will not be silenced. And I definitely invite you to join me as I traverse this part of my life where I finally have reached a point where I understand the gravity of my voice. I invite you to witness me living all the things that I tell you guys you should consider living. Mm-hmm. Could be Chiron, could be a narcissist, Could be legal abuse. Who knows? Could be Emmie's a badass and she's finally sick of shit, so now she's going to fucking do something about it. Something legal. It's okay for you to exist with fear. I said yesterday in my video, I'm not afraid. I'm absolutely afraid of what this person could physically do to me. Absolutely. I'm not going to mince words with that. I'm absolutely afraid of the potentiality of the darkness this person has. I'm not afraid to speak my truth. That's what I'm not afraid of. I can continue to speak my truth without fear of being afraid of what I legitimately have a right to be afraid of. That's okay. You can be a whole person. Having fear doesn't make you weak. Having fear can gift you with the ability, the drive, and the focus to get shit done. And it's going to get fucking done. I'm going to play this for you guys one more time. I recorded this yesterday, and I feel like you guys should hear it. Ugh. I've found that people who are extremely abusive require your silence. They need you to never, ever, ever reveal to anyone else the things that they've done to you. Share your story anyways. Never compromise your voice and your ability to share of what you have learned in your life, what you have experienced. If they didn't want you to tell ugly stories, they shouldn't have behaved so ugly. Find your courage and hold on to that. Let go of the fear and hold on to the courage instead. One day, it's my hope I can tell you my life story. Every single part of it. Especially the parts the abusive people wanted to shut me up for. When I say these stories that you tell, I'm talking about your life stories, not made up ones. Tell your life story to whoever you need to speak to. No more silent. You can move through your fears with sound. No more silence. No more nothing. No more, I need to hide it. I need to this. I need to that. Oh, people are not going to like that I mentioned. Why do we allow ourselves to exist in a society that protects the people who harm you? Fuck that. With as much disrespectful motherfucking rebellion. Fuck that. Fuck society. I'm creating my own. You're all welcome to join. In this new society, we're going to hold each other accountable, not out of hatred, not out of malice, not out of an attempt to control and dictate, but because we love each other enough to be honest with each other and hold each other accountable. Hey, Em, you seem a little grumpy today. Is everything okay? I feel a little extra in your energy. Do you want to talk about anything? It's okay if you don't. Hey, guys, I'm noticing we're growing so much. Yeah. Fuck society. Let's start our own. Let's start a new one. Let's start a new one and invite everyone who's ready to heal and grow and expand their awareness and reach higher levels of consciousness. We are powerful individually when we reach that. We are unstoppable when we reach that together. And they can't have that. I don't give a fuck what they can or can't have. If you can't handle what my village brings, don't fucking approach us. How about that? We got this shit. We do. Like I said yesterday, it's not just one city. It's not just one county. It's not just one state. It's not just one coast. It's not just one nation. It's not just one continent. We are already a global village. We are already a global village. I've been keeping tabs on us. With the exception of Antarctica, I have village members on every fucking continent. Every single continent. That's fucking badass. We're positioned. We're just waiting for soul's orders. Stay ready. Not nervous ready, but ready like we about to go on an amazing fucking adventure. Because we are. We're exiting this current paradigm. We're creating a new one from scratch, where we are all equals. We all have a purpose. We all have a place. There is no hierarchy. There is just a helping of our brothers and sisters in consciousness. That's where we're at. And you guys are the founding members. Isn't that fucking amazing? It makes me feel all warm and tingly inside. Like, we're fucking here at the start of it. You can't tell me you can't feel that right now. I'm not the only one that feels that. I know that for a fact. Like, I can feel that truth reverberate in every part of me. This is the start of it. And you guys are the motherfucking founding members. Remember this moment? This is the moment that spiritual war is being laid to rest. This is the moment where we together have chosen victory over our fears, victory over the system. We are a victorious people. We are victorious in our peace. And this is just the start. This is just the start. Welcome to the next book of humanity. It's fucking badass. I'm going to be watching from the bleachers with my popcorn. Y'all make me proud, okay? Y'all make me proud, okay? Mom, I'm going to be watching from the bleachers. I love you guys. More than words could ever express. I love you for the foundation that you've built for me. Within my life, within my heart, within my mind. You guys did that. Yes, I gave permission, I allowed it. But you can allow all you want. And unless people choose to co-create with you, it doesn't go anywhere. We are all so equally important. All of us. All of us. So feel the badass that you are. Feel the gravity of your presence. And then start acting like it. Start acting like what you feel. Powerful, solid, stable. Powerful, solid, stable. Oof. We more than got this. We own it. You guys have an amazing rest of your day, okay? Bye, everyone.